Greeting, dear friends, and may the Lord be with you today. Well, another day of rain. Get those umbrellas out, bring out the galoshes, as they would say. We in KZN are certainly enjoying our spring rains. And these rains that come to give life and purpose for a new season. As you can see, the rain gauge behind me, it's been filled a number of times. We have certainly enjoyed a couple of 100 millimeters of rain to refresh the land and to keep us going again. And of course, some people hate this weather. I have to say I love it. Maybe my surname shouldn't have been Butterworth, but maybe Duckworth. But there again, the cricketers wouldn't have liked me. But I feel for the people of Amanzimtoti and the upper south coast. With that bridge just before Athlone Park on Bogantwini Hill. And as we know, part of it collapsed because of the consistent rain that we have been having. Not just this year, the last few years, and the long-term effects of the floods that affected our province. And so the people battle to get from one side of the river to the other. And hence there's all these traffic jams and all the things that are happening there. Do you know that less than 100 years ago, it was difficult to get to Port Shepstone. And so twice a week, there was a boat that sailed from Durban to Port Shepstone to take the supplies. And bridges are so important. And one of my earliest recollections as a primary school child was having my relationship with Christ being described as a bridge. That if there were two sides of the river, God was on one side and I was on the other. And as we know too, out of our human engineering, bridges are built to span that area. And yet Scripture reminds us that there is nothing that we can do to actually help us to get to God that is a permanent solution. For like that bridge at Bogantwini, the rains and the floods will come over the years and shift it. And so as a primary school child, they did a drawing. And from the one side of the bank to the other, they placed the cross. That it be through Jesus Christ that you and I discover God, and that we are known by God. The promises of Scripture that Christ says, I sit at the right hand of God. That Christ remains the intermediary to us, to be able to access and to know God. That if we know the Son, we know God. And so through this time, when it rains, I'm reminded that it is in my faith through Jesus Christ that I'm able to reach out to God, that I can span the river to those things that separate me from God. God has created a way, for God so loved the world that Jesus was given. And I remember that old Sunday school song, about where you built on the sand or the rock. Well, of course, building on Christ. The bridge remains immovable, permanent, eternal. So today, again, I reach out to Christ, for through Christ I see God. And may God bless you and take care, and do keep dry and warm.